What's going on, guys? This is Tyson and we are back with Absolute Ben 10, and honestly, this is one of the most emotionally gripping openings to a comic I've seen in a very long time. This is not your average Ben 10 story, this is something completely different. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, this comic opens with something that hits you right in the gut. We're looking at a trembling hand peeling back a dusty photograph, and underneath it's a picture of a younger man with white hair smiling warmly. And the internal monologue from Ben is just heartbreaking. He says, "I still can't believe," and then he just slams the photo face down. You can feel the anger, the pain, the frustration. He clicks off the lamp, the room goes dark, and then we see the full photo, a younger boy being hugged by his grandfather, Max. And there's handwriting on it. "Love you, kiddo, Max." Now here's the thing, right? This isn't just any old photograph. This is Grandpa Max, and for those of you guys who don't know, in the Absolute universe, things are different. They are darker, they are heavier, and in this world, Max Tennyson is gone. He passed away, and Ben hasn't been the same since, and you see that right away. The photo has a caption, "Grandpa's boy," and the year is scratched out. It's 19XX. So we don't know exactly when this photo was taken, but the implication is clear. This kid, this version of Ben, was incredibly close to his grandfather, and now Max is gone, and Ben is drowning in that loss. We cut to the next morning. Ben is now 15 years old, and you can see it on his face. He looks weary, dark circles under his green eyes. He's wearing a white hoodie with black stripes and a 10 on the chest, and his room behind him is dimly lit. There's no energy here, there's no life, and his internal monologue, "One more day, Tennyson." That's the kind of thing you say when you're just trying to get through it, when every day feels like a battle, when you're not living, you're just surviving. And that's exactly where Ben is right now. He goes downstairs to the kitchen, and his dad, Carl, is there behind a newspaper. "Morning, kiddo," Carl says, trying to be cheerful, and Sandra, Ben's mom, is serving eggs and bacon, smiling hopefully. They're trying, they're really trying. And you can feel that, right? You can feel how hard they're working to bring their son back. But Ben just isn't there. Carl says, "I talked to the baseball coach and Duffy said he'd love to have you back on the squad." And Ben just looks at him with this hollow expression. "I think I'll pass on the extracurriculars, just not feeling it this year." And here's the thing that gets me. Ben doesn't even touch his food. He just grabs his backpack and says, "I'm gonna head out now. I'll wait in the car." He leaves his plate full untouched, and after he's gone, Carl drops the newspaper on the table. And you can see the frustration on his face, but it's not frustration at Ben, it's frustration at himself. He says, "I'm stuck, Sandra." You have no idea how to cheer him up, and Sandra, she's the one who gets it. She puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "Don't beat yourself up, Carl. You know how rough it was for you. Max and Ben were inseparable. Who knows how much time he'll need, but no matter how long, we'll just keep trying." Now this is important, because what Sandra is saying here is that this grief isn't new to the family. Carl lost his father too. He's grieving just as much as Ben is, but he's also trying to hold it together for his son. And that's what parents do. They put their own pain aside because their kids come first. Carl looks down and just says, "You're right, we just have to keep trying." We cut to Bellwood High. Ben is slumped over his desk, head on his arm. The teacher is at the chalkboard, math equations everywhere, and the bell rings. Class is over, but Ben doesn't move. He's just there. And then we get this really interesting moment. A heavy dark combat boot thumps onto the floor near Ben's desk, and then we see a student with a cocky smirk and a bandage across his nose. And he's got two other guys with him now. Here's where you might expect the classic bully scene, right? That's what we are used to. The jocks come in, they pick on the kid, they push him around. But that's not what happens here. The student in the red jacket leans over Ben's desk and says, "Hey Tennyson, coach said you aren't playing this season." And the guy in the green jacket says, "Yeah, what's the deal, man? We killed it last season. You really don't want to run it back with us?" And Ben just looks up. His expression is vacant. There's nothing there. And then the kid in the red jacket rubs the back of his neck, looking awkward. "All right, man. See ya, Tennyson." Then they leave. They don't push him, they don't taunt him. They're genuinely confused. They're his teammates. They want him back, and they don't understand why he's pulling away. Now this is really important because it's a subversion of expectations, right? The world isn't being cruel to Ben. The world is trying to reach out to him, but he's the one who's pushing everyone away. He's the one who's isolating himself, and that's what grief does. It convinces you that you are alone, even when you're surrounded by people who care about you. And then Gwen shows up. Gwen Tennyson. For those of you guys who don't know, in the original Ben 10 continuity, Gwen is Ben's cousin, and she's got this whole magical side to her, right? Anodite heritage, mana manipulation, all that stuff. In the Absolute universe, we don't know yet if that's going to be the case. But what we do know is that Gwen cares about Ben, and she's not going to let him just fade away. She walks up to his desk, arms crossed, holding her school books. She's got vibrant orange hair and those same striking green eyes that Ben has. And she says I'd usually tell GT and Cash to mind their business, but this time I gotta ask, why are you skipping baseball season? And Ben sits up, arms crossed, defensive. I mean, I can't remember the last time you bailed on a sport. Gwen's confident smirk has vanished. She looks taken aback. Hey, but Ben cuts her off. Don't play dumb. I'm sure you know why, and here's where it gets real. Ben looks toward the window and his expression shifts. He's not angry anymore. He's just in pain. He says it's only been a few months since he passed, and unlike you, I can't act like nothing happened. And Gwen, she's not angry. She's not defensive. She leans in, her expression softening, and she says something that's actually really beautiful. She says, maybe it's because you haven't tried. Look, my parents have been planning a spring break camping trip, and we already talked it over with your parents. We all think you should come. Get away and clear your mind a bit. I'm worried about you, dweeb. And then she places a comforting hand on the desk near him. I hate seeing you like this. I miss my little cousin. And for the first time in this entire comic, we see a small smirk tug at the corner of Ben's mouth. The shadow lifts slightly. And here's something cool for longtime fans. Strange, dark floating orbs start to manifest around him. A nice little nod to the classic Ben 10 aesthetic. Just a visual callback to the iconic pattern we all know. Ben looks up at Gwen and says, you're not that much older than me, but okay, I'll come. Only since you got all emotional. And Gwen winks and sticks her tongue out. Don't get used to it, dweeb. I'm not gonna be the one saving your skin every time, but on the other hand, something is entering Earth's atmosphere. We'll get to that in a minute. We cut back to the Tennyson residence evening. Sandra's at Ben's bedroom door, bathed in warm light. Call if you need any more help packing, Ben. Ben's on his floor, half shrouded in blue shadows. I'll be fine, Mom. And then his head tilts, his eyes go wide. He's looking at something in the corner of his room, a plain cardboard box, and on the side in marker it says, from Max. Now this is the moment. This is the emotional core of the entire first chapter. Ben's hand hovers over the box. He hesitates and then he pulls out a handwritten note, and the note says, Dear Ben, I couldn't come to DC without sending you a present, kiddo. Always remember the sky isn't the limit for us Tennysons. We aim for the stars. And Ben's face contorts. The mask shatters. Thick tears stream down his face. He clutches his chest while holding the letter. Inside the box, resting on a cushion, is a thin bracelet with 3 metallic beads, and a small card reads, Moon Rocks, Armstrong. It's a piece of jewelry. It's fragile. It's delicate. It's the last gift his grandfather ever sent him. And Ben sits there in a pillar of white light, the rest of the room pitch black, more tears escaping, and he whispers, Thank you, Grandpa. We cut to the campsite, a clearing in the woods, a large dark van, a tent, a small campfire flickering. It's quiet. It's remote. It's a little eerie. Ben is sitting in a chair, hunched over a comic. He looks disinterested, and then a voice cuts through the silence. Frank, could you go and get us some firewood, honey? And Ben looks up. He closes his comic. He says, Actually, I can go get firewood. I used to all the time, back when Grandpa and I, and there it is, the memory, the pain. Ben's mom has a worried expression. She says, Alright, Ben, how about you go with Gwen? And Gwen jumps into frame, cracking her knuckles. Yeah, can't have you sneaking off on us now, can we? Ben and Gwen walk through thick brush. Ben has a bundle of branches. He is distant. Gwen follows, her expression somber. They emerge onto a sandy shore. The full moon reflects on a calm lake, the sky littered with stars. 2 small silhouettes stand at the edge of the tree line, and Gwen finally says what she's been holding back. You know, I miss him too, right? She gestures with an open hand. I may seem fine, but not a day goes by where I don't miss Grandpa Max. It took a lot for me to get over it. Why do you think I stayed cooped up in the dojo or the library? Instead of avoiding them, getting back into things you're passionate about like I did could make you feel better. Ben looks over his shoulder. His face is partially obscured. One green eye peers out with dark resentment, and his internal monologue is silent, but his hand grips the bundle of firewood. His knuckles are white. He says, everything I'm passionate about. And then we get a flashback, a warm, sun-drenched memory. A much younger Ben sits in the grass. Grandpa Max stands over him with a baseball bat, coaching him. Ben says, he taught me, took me to all my games, cheered me on. Another memory. Max leans over a desk, laughing with a young Ben who is working on a math notebook. Ben says, helped me with my homework, and even when it took me hours to finish. And then we come back to the present. Ben has a soft, genuine smile on his face, the most alive he's looked. He says, we'd still hang out after every single time. He was my hero. And then his face contorts. His eyes glow with a fierce toxic green light. His teeth gritted. Clearly, he wasn't yours. Gwen is frozen. Her face is a mask of shock and heartbreak. She says, I I just want what's best for you, Ben. We all do. She pulls away, clutching her firewood like a shield. I'm gonna head back to camp. Ben stands alone on the shore facing the lake. His back is to the camera, his posture slumped. Ben thinks to himself, everyone keeps trying to make me move on. But I can't just forget you, Grandpa. I really wish I could talk to you again. And then his eyes widen. His face is lit by a sudden intense light from above. He looks up. A massive blinding streak of light is cutting across the night sky. A pod, white and sleek with green accents, glowing with re-entry heat, and Ben's internal monologue is just one word: no. He sprints toward the tree line. The wind whips his hair back, and then a massive fireball erupts. Trees snap, a plume of smoke and debris rises. Ben is on his knees at the edge of a deep, jagged trench. Smoke and steam curl upward. The surrounding forest is decimated. He looks down into the crater. The smoke parts to reveal a pulsing radioactive green glow emanating from a metallic object. He descends. He reaches the device. His hand hovers inches away from the cold, glowing metal. Looks like some kind of satellite. His finger brushes the glowing green seal. A small, bright white spark ignites, and a computer voice speaks. DNA target located. The pod hisses open. A thick, bubbling green liquid core is revealed inside, and then Ben's hand is pulled into the center of the pod. A metallic circular device clamps onto his wrist. The Omnitrix, he grits his teeth. He tries to pull away, but the device is locked on. He leans in closer. The center dial springs upward, revealing a glowing core of neon green and black energy patterns. He reaches out with his right hand. His finger brushes the interface, and then it happens. The transformation. His body stretches. His skin shifts. Claws erupt from his fingertips. His face reshapes into a sleek, aerodynamic mask. A glowing yellow-green visor forms, and standing in the crater is a Kinesileran XLR-8. His black and white armored, pale blue skin, a long striped tail, the Omnitrix on his chest. He vibrates with speed, energy arcing around him. Ben's voice distorted. My hands. He panics. He looks at the lake. His feet begin to spin, and then he's off. A blur of blue and black rainbow light trails. He can't control it. He slams into the wet sand, water, and grit spray everywhere. He pushes himself onto his claws and knees. He looks down into the calm surface of the lake, and for the first time he sees his reflection. The sharp alien visor, black armor, and blue highlights. He looks like a stranger. He's panicking. Sensory overload. The Omnitrix pulses on his chest. His sphere feet vibrate violently, and then he launches. A massive shockwave ripples through the clearing. Two deep grooves are carved into the sand. He's a jagged, glowing blur. He leans so far forward, his chest almost touches the ground. His eyes glow fiercely. He hits the forest. Branches snap. Rocks fly. He launches off a rocky cliffside. A streak of cyan and rainbow light soaring over a valley of pine trees. He's terrified. He's exhilarated. He can't stop. He throws his upper body back, claws digging into the air. His tail lashes out for balance. He leaves a massive curved skid mark on a forest road. He hunches low. His visor flickers. He gasps. The cyan glow of his armor pulses with his breathing, and then he slams his sharp tail tip into the ground to stop. It pierces the earth. He's frozen in the middle of a dark road. His visor reflects the blinding glare of a massive red semi-truck. It looms over him. The driver is in pure panic. His foot slams on the brake. The truck swerves violently, but Ben sees the truck, and something triggers inside him. A flashback, warm hazy colors. A younger vibrant Grandpa Max smiles broadly. Remember, Ben, panicking will only cause you to sink. Stay calm and focus on your form. Trust yourself even if you're scared. And Ben's visor glows with a steady, intense cyan light. The fear in his eyes is replaced by grim focus. He drops into a low crouch. His movements are deliberate. The spheres on his feet spin. He leans forward. The asphalt cracks beneath him. Rainbow-colored light swirls around him, and then he's gone. A single massive streak of cyan and rainbow light tearing down the road. He streaks past the red semi-truck. The air shatters. He clears the truck. He's 50 yards down the road in a blink. He slams his three-taloned hand into the truck door. The metal crumples. He rips the truck door off its hinges, hurling it over the guardrail. He reaches into the smoke-filled cab, grabs the driver by his blue shirt. He hauls the driver out, places him safely on the road. The driver collapses, hyperventilating, and then Ben is gone. A prism of light streaks across the driver's vision. But Ben isn't safe. The Omnitrix starts beeping. A high-frequency digital screech shatters the silence. The cyan electricity sputters. The light on his chest turns a harsh, pulsating red, and then a jagged red energy burst erupts. The XLR-8 silhouette tears away in glitch particles. Ben is back human. His eyes are wide. I'm back to normal. Looks like this thing is still here though, the Omnitrix is locked on, glowing with a dim warning red light. He tries to pry his fingers under the band, but the moment he applies pressure, jagged yellow-green sparks arc from the seams, snapping against his skin. He can't take it off. We cut back to the lake. Gwen is standing at the water's edge. Ben, where are you? And then something rises from the water. A massive spiked mace-like hand drips with water. The design is brutal and industrial. A glowing orange zigzag pattern pulses on its bronze armor. The hunter stands at full height. It towers over the shoreline. It has a massive spiked mace arm and a thick hydraulic claw. The moon hangs behind it like a halo. Gwen turns, her eyes are wide with paralyzing shock. The reflection shows a towering glowing orange shape. You're not Ben. The hunter leans down, its visor-like eyes narrow. Where's the Omnitrix? Gwen trembles. Where's my cousin? The hunter lets out a dark chuckle. It paces around the crater, its mace arm dragging on the ground. Oh, I'll give you points for bravery, girl. Say, maybe we can help each other. Your cousin seems to be gone and so is the Omnitrix. I reckon he's run off with it. Now you're gonna help me find the Omnitrix and I'll help you find your cousin. It reaches out with a massive three-clawed hydraulic hand. All you have to do is play good bait, and it clamps down on Gwen's shoulder. She winces, her eyes squeeze shut. Ben is crouching in the bushes at the lake's edge. He looks small and terrified. His eyes reflect the hunter's orange core. Ben thinks to himself, I need to go get help. And then his expression shifts. Fear is overtaken by cold, green determination. He looks at the Omnitrix, which glows with vibrant neon green intensity. Or maybe I am the help. He steps out. The hunter snaps his head toward him. Gotcha! The hunter raises his spiked claw arm. The central core glows with blinding white-hot energy, and then a devastating beam of golden energy fires. A massive spherical explosion of fire and light erupts. Smoke rises, small fires flicker. There's no sign of movement. But then through the smoke, a new silhouette emerges. A hand thick, robotic blocky, with a glowing cyan port on the wrist. The new alien shifts through the haze, black and grey armored body. A wide mouth, vent on its chest. A sleek visor head. Feedback Ben's voice distorted. That was close. The hunter's visor narrows. You brat, Feedback stands tall in the smoldering crater. Long prehensile power plug tendrils flow from his head. The Omnitrix glows green on his chest, and the hunter looms in the foreground. Feedback's single green eye slit glows fiercely. Where's my cousin? The hunter points a massive claw. So, you actually figured out how to use it. And then he fires. A heavy fur-trimmed mechanical claw attached to a chain tears through the air. It slams into Feedback's chest, pinning his arms. A white-hot shockwave erupts. The hunter swings Ben into the air like a flail. Then he pivots, putting his weight into the downward swing. Ben slams into the rocky earth. Dust and debris explode upward. He lies crumpled, his armored body cracked. The hunter stands triumphantly on his spider-legged transport. Don't worry about your cousin. We know a few guys who'd pay a pretty penny for human meat. But one of Feedback's antennae plugs twitches in the dirt, and then it whips upward. The hunter catches it mid-air with casual ease. Amateur, but Ben's eye slit burns with strategic fire. Right back at ya. The antenna plug bends and slams into the hunter's forearm armor. The prongs pierce the bronze plating. And then the overload begins. The hunter's chassis vibrates violently. Bronze plating cracks, jagged bolts of yellow electricity arc out. The hunter wreathed in cyan and yellow electricity lunges. He raises a massive glowing fist. Now we're having fun. A devastating cyan beam slams Ben into a jagged rock wall. Stone shatters. Ben slumps to the ground. His eye is dimming. He tries to push himself up, hands trembling, and the hunter looms. Oh, come on, get up. We cut to a clearing. A small dilapidated wooden cabin sits alone. A warm light glows through a boarded up window. Inside, Gwen is slumped against a spiked metallic stasis pod. The glass glows amber, revealing a shadowy silhouette inside. She snaps her eyes open. Where am I? Okay, don't panic, just stay positive, Gwendolyn. She closes her eyes. The orange glow shifts. A faint, cool blue light emanates from her hand, and then she snaps her eyes open. Her right hand is wreathed in thick, ethereal cyan flame. Mechane discomulus. She slams her empowered fist into the center of the amber glass. A massive shockwave of rainbow light and sparks erupts. The glass disintegrates. She pans. I did it. She pumps a fist. A triumphant grin spreads across her face. And then she looks out the open doorway toward the lake. Hang on, Ben, I'm coming. We cut back to the forest. Behind some bushes, a blonde teen in a white hoodie and a man in sunglasses are watching the hunter loom over Feedback's down form. The blonde teen's blue eyes are wide with fear. Dude, we gotta keep moving. If we could make it past that cabin, I think we can make a run for it. The man stares at the cabin. His expression is flat. He has a jagged X scar on his forehead. No way. That cabin screams death trap. Let's just circle back. The blonde teen nods. Yeah, alright. So guys, that's where we are. Ben is down. Gwen is free. The hunter is still standing. And we've got two mysterious figures watching from the shadows who we haven't seen before. And a brand new take on the Ben 10 mythos. This is not your dad's Ben 10. This is darker. This is heavier. This is something completely new. We've got the Omnitrix. We've got XLR8. We've got feedback. We've got Gwen tapping into some kind of power. Is it magic? Is it anodite? We don't know yet. And we've got the hunter who wants the Omnitrix for reasons we don't fully understand. But most importantly, we've got a Ben Tennyson who is broken, who is grieving, who is trying to figure out who he is without his grandfather. And now he's got this device on his wrist that can turn him into aliens. How's he going to handle that? How is he going to balance his grief with his new responsibility? We don't know, but I am dying to find out. With that being said, guys, we are going to bring this video to an end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, drop a like. Thank you all for watching and I will catch you all later.